When the evidence from Robinson's supporters becomes a nightmare for Starmer, perhaps he should reconsider the slogan, "always listening to the voices of the people," that he preached during his election campaign. Who would have thought that those very words would become the cleverest trap, leading our phony Prime Minister to self-destruct his political career? Let's delve into the details of this issue right after this. But first, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the latest political news from across the country. Tommy Robinson's supporters are expressing profound disappointment that many people in England are experiencing under Keir Starmer's leadership. They have decided to sue a government they believe has failed to act decisively on the issues they are fighting for. Their grievances include serious issues such as censorship, the growing selective justice within the government, and the erosion of the working class's voice. They argue that the Labour Party prioritises political correctness over the practical concerns of the public. This movement serves as an expression of a larger cultural resistance, exposing the simmering discontent that is spreading across communities in the United Kingdom. From their perspective, Starmer's approach has marginalised those who dare to question immigration issues, national identity, and freedom of speech. They view this as clear evidence of his abandonment of the traditional values of the working class within the Labour Party. The lawsuit against Starmer is not merely a political debate. It carries profound significance regarding reclaiming a Britain they feel has become alien to the core essence of the party. Critics of Keir Starmer, particularly within the working class, assert that he has betrayed the traditional roots of the Labour Party, instead serving the urban elite and a progressive agenda that they no longer find compatible with the party's core base. The intrinsic identity of the Labour Party as a protector of workers' rights is becoming hollow in the eyes of those who see Starmer prioritising identity politics and progressive goals over practical issues like food security and the daily struggles they face. The Labour Party's soft stance on immigration and policing has been heavily criticised for lacking sensitivity, especially regarding communities that are suffering the direct impacts of these policies. Regarding policing and freedom of speech, Starmer's approach has been criticised for selectively enforcing standards that opponents argue stifle open debate. Under the current leadership of the Labour Party, some argue that the party is pursuing a form of politics aimed at silencing dissenting voices, particularly on hot-button issues like immigration and national identity. The working class in England feels that their concerns are not only being ignored, but are also being labelled as out of touch. The Labour Party has also been condemned for what is perceived as an overly lenient approach to immigration, raising additional concerns about the integrity of British identity and resources. Critics of Starmer argue that he has failed to present a concrete plan to address immigration issues, leaving many worried about the erosion of national security and sovereignty. They fear that Labour's policies could transform the social fabric of the UK, while neglecting those most severely impacted by rapid change, from housing to employment and community connectivity. Starmer's tenure has also been marred by doubts regarding inconsistency, with critics quickly pointing out contradictions in his positions on major issues, from Brexit to social policies. These shifts have raised numerous questions about his reliability and the Labour Party's commitment to core principles. For many, the Labour Party under Starmer seems to be reacting passively, lacking foresight, which could alienate voters eager for more decisive and clearer actions from their leaders. As a result, a political party is struggling to reconnect with its traditional base while failing to inspire fresh support. All this unfolds under the leadership of someone committed to the core principles of the Labour Party, but increasingly scrutinised. Tommy Robinson's movement has skillfully tapped into a rising wave of nationalism, appealing to those who feel that the cultural identity and traditional values of the UK are at risk of erosion. Calls for equal justice have created pressure on judicial authorities from individuals who feel targeted for their dissenting views. This has tapped into a deeper frustration regarding perceived failures emanating from institutions. The phrase "thousands waking up every day" has echoed a grassroots movement that is thriving. This collective awakening not only represents a departure from traditional narratives, but also fosters solidarity among individuals who share similar grievances and values. Charlie, a 13-year-old teenager, has shown a deep interest in politics. His previous encounter with interview participants marked a turning point in his political life. This interview exposed the real issues occurring within the broader education system. People were right to point out that perspectives need to be considered comprehensively. The interview revealed Charlie's experiences at school and how he was treated solely because of his political views. It was truly a surprising interview. Since then, Charlie has actively supported educational reform. What is the true nature of educational reform, and what do organisations like Reform UK really want from these changes? Reform UK could not accept Charlie standing with Tommy, therefore he was presented with a choice: side with Tommy or side with Reform UK, and Charlie did not hesitate to choose the true patriot, Tommy Robinson. Along with building a platform on social media, Charlie has established his presence. Tommy had to serve 4 years in prison, and Charlie is determined to start defending the oppressed who have no voice. With the foundation he is building, Charlie believes he can achieve this. Some people argue that Charlie is too young to engage in such political activities, but the truth is, older individuals cannot remain forever, and there is a need for younger people to take their place. As he approaches 14, Charlie has clear ambitions starting today: to build greater support and genuinely expose the government system. He speaks about what is happening inside Parliament, highlighting the serious issues that politicians need to confront. Charlie also hopes that politicians will strive harder and stand up for the people's interests. The intense desire for change and the courageous approach of young people to current issues clearly demonstrate that age is not a barrier to making a positive impact. Charlie's voice, as a newly minted 13-year-old, stands out in the crowd, affirming that even the youngest can stand up and make a difference. Young activists like Charlie embody a wave of new political consciousness, ignited by encounters with figures like Tommy Robinson, who have bravely exposed the complex realities of existing systems. These initial experiences serve as a powerful catalyst, encouraging the younger generation to question mainstream narratives and seek more nuanced perspectives. Their foundation of critical thinking and engagement not only drives immediate actions, but also shapes a lifelong path of political advocacy, showing how transformative moments can cultivate passionate young souls. For these young speakers, reaching a broader audience is not merely about public speaking, it is the leap from anxiety to courage. The expectation mingles with excitement, forming a rite of passage, a ritual that transforms initial fear into boldness. The willingness to stand before the public, fueled by a genuine passion for creating change, is a testament to the bravery that this younger generation brings. The courage of these young voices challenges entrenched powers, something that the audience not only admires, but also deeply resonates with. This shift in youth activism confronting complex, sophisticated issues demonstrates a strong commitment to empathy and social solidarity, aiming to bring overlooked perspectives into focus and call for a fairer society. Increasingly, young activists demand that leaders be held accountable with a straightforwardness that was previously rare in older generations. This shift in youth activism confronting complex, sophisticated issues demonstrates a strong commitment to empathy and social solidarity, aiming to bring overlooked perspectives into focus and call for a fairer society. Increasingly, young activists demand that leaders be held accountable with a straightforwardness that was previously rare in older generations. They leverage social media to amplify their voices, mobilizing support across diverse communities and fostering global connections. By sharing personal stories and highlighting systemic injustices, these young leaders challenge traditional narratives and inspire others to take action. Their unwavering resolve not only ignites important conversations, but also empowers a new generation to envision and pursue transformative change. What are people's thoughts on the issues we discussed in today's video? Please leave your comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with the latest information about the political situation in the UK. Thank you all, and see you in the next videos.